So, how is my approach to neural retraining different from some of the others that are out there? My approach to neural retraining comes from my personal experience with retraining my own brain and working with tons of clients to help them rewire many different aspects of their neurology, but especially their learned stress reactions that are impacting their health. So, when I first started neural retraining, I tried the approach that was most popular at that time, which was just practicing feeling good and safe every day for an extended period of time. And the programs that were out there at that time had different ways of doing that, but that was the gist of what was happening in terms of their neural retraining processes. But every time I sat down to do that, it felt like I was fighting myself. Some part of me was super resistant to the idea that I was safe enough to relax in that moment. And that part of me was my subconscious. My subconscious had learned over the course of my life through a variety of different stressful, painful, and traumatic experiences, as well as the belief systems that I had learned from others, that I wasn't safe and that the world was not safe. So, as I was sitting down to do these neural retraining practices every day and embody a feeling of safety, relaxation, and a bunch of other positive emotional states, my subconscious was going, "Are you kidding? Why would you possibly think that you're safe enough to relax? Like, don't you remember X, Y, and Z that have happened to you that did not feel safe?" So, the subconscious's job is to try to protect us, to try to ensure our survival. And so, while we may only remember certain experiences from earlier in our lives, our subconscious mind remembers them all. And any experiences that felt stressful, physically or emotionally painful, scary, or traumatic get tagged by the subconscious as very important. And that's because the subconscious considers that those experiences have survival data in them, right? Information about how to keep us alive in the future. It then uses those experiences as references to determine if our present moment circumstances are safe or not. And if anything we're experiencing now reminds the subconscious of those past experiences, it will set off a survival response, i.e., fight, flight, or freeze. And we will feel that throughout our bodies, and that will happen without our conscious control. And the subconscious is just doing that to try to protect us, right? Because if the subconscious puts us in flight, we are propelled to run away or avoid the threat in whatever way we can. If the subconscious instigates a fight reaction, then we feel compelled to fight against or defeat the threat in some way in order to keep ourselves safe. In freeze, we collapse into numbness and amnesia to preserve our psyches from what the subconscious anticipates to be, overwhelm, imminent pain, or death. And our subconscious belief systems, which are formed from our experiences in life, as well as inherited from our family and culture, also work this way. So, if we believe that something is a threat to us on a subconscious level, even something as simple as being late to an appointment, our subconscious will produce a survival response when we're faced with potentially being late. And that survival response will drive us to be on time and therefore stay safe. Since the subconscious does not distinguish between a perceived threat, like being late, and a true life or death danger, the survival responses are the same, and they all derail our health. So, what does that mean for neural retraining in an effective way? It means that to have the best results from neural retraining, you must, one, retrain on a subconscious level. And this is why positive affirmations alone or other efforts to simply change the way you think consciously don't really work to change your subconscious patterning, including your learned stress responses. Number two, we must rewire the stressful, painful, scary, or traumatic memories that are basically serving as the templates for your stress and survival responses in the present. Because the stress and nervous system reactions we had to these original events will replay themselves over and over again in our lives until we rewire those memories. Number 3, we must rewire the belief systems that underlie your inappropriate stress or survival responses in the present. And these include beliefs about ourselves, other people, the world, and life in general that cause us to overreact to the events in our life. So, to get all this accomplished, we use a neuroscience based process called memory reconsolidation. So, let me explain what that means. Scientists discovered that when memories are active, i.e., when we are re experiencing them inside ourselves, they become changeable. And they change naturally just a little bit based on what's going on for us in the present moment when we are recalling the memory. A good analogy for this is that it's like opening a Word document. You can't add or delete words from it until you open it. But once you add or delete those words, it auto saves, and now you have a new version of it next time you open it. And this is exactly how memories work too. So it was then discovered that memories can be intentionally edited with specific data when they're active inside of us. So if we're working on a traumatic memory, we can add more data of safety to it until it no longer has any effect on our nervous system. No trauma response recurs when we think of it. And this is incredibly powerful and freeing in our present day lives. Then we discovered that we can do this with other types of neural networking, including that which underlies our belief systems, our emotional associations, and much, much more. And once you rewire those neurological roots of your issues and stress reactions, then it actually becomes easy and almost effortless to wire in through practice new templates for how you want to think, feel, and behave in the present. It becomes easy to teach your brain to respond with that calm, healing nervous system state that promotes optimal health and to remain in it unless a true life or death danger comes along. And after that final step, now your brain and nervous system will default to a calm, balanced, good feeling thought patterns and emotional states and the behaviors that actually align with those. And this leads to good health. So that's why I believe strongly in a deeper approach to neural retraining, because that's what was necessary for me to get the robust, long-lasting results that I needed for my mental, emotional, and physical well-being. And not just me, I have many clients who have come to me after failing to get results with simpler approaches to neural retraining. And when we go deeper, they are able to make true transformation. So in both my one-on-one rewiring sessions and the Wired for Wellness program, I provide this deeper approach to neural retraining that gives you all you need to regain your vibrant, easygoing well-being and to maintain it for the rest of your life, which I think is the goal, right? Sustainable, optimal health. And the other difference in my approach to neural retraining is that if you are doing it because you're struggling with some health issues, I don't recommend you forsake all physical medical care that you may be getting. Being a naturopathic physician, I absolutely know that sometimes the body benefits from help on the physical level to get well, and sometimes more than just the basic foundations of health, right? Like drinking clean water and eating really good, healthy, nutritious food and sunshine and social connection and all of that. I needed more than that to heal, and many of my clients have too. Not all of them. Some of them were able to heal completely with neural retraining because their issues were based in these stress responses entirely. But I know very well that some physiological stressors that we may encounter don't just resolve by addressing your stress conditioning, such as major toxic burdens, nutritional deficiencies, certain types of infections, just to name a few. And so, in fact, in the Wired for Wellness program, I actually teach members not only the most effective naturopathic approaches to healing, but also how to approach physical healing with naturopathic tools in a balanced, stressless way, right? And how do you marry your neural retraining journey of healing with getting physical medical care such that you get the best results from both worlds. So I hope that that makes a lot of sense for how I approach neural retraining in a very different way. And I really appreciate you listening and learning a little bit more about neural retraining.